Have you ever looked back at a relationship with a narcissist and wondered how they so effortlessly shrank you into a mere shadow of yourself? The subtle manipulation, the endless emotional storms, the way they thrived on your insecurities, it was like an invisible cage trapping your soul. But here's the truth you must hold on to. You are no longer bound. Imagine if there were a way to reclaim your power so completely that the narcissist is left stunned, realizing they have lost all control over you, not through bitter revenge, but through an extraordinary rebirth, becoming the person they never believed you could be, strong, authentic, and radiating in your own right. The beauty of this transformation is that it doesn't just heal you, it forces the narcissist to face a harsh reality. Their hold on you has crumbled to dust. In this video, we will uncover 7 unexpected actions, powerful ways to rise above their chaos, silence their toxic influence, and reclaim the joy they once tried to steal. These steps aren't about them, they are about you, your peace, your growth, and the unshakable freedom that belongs to you. And the most beautiful part, when you thrive, you're not just breaking free, you're proving that their absence is the greatest gift life has ever given you. Whether you're rebuilding after heartbreak or simply curious about reclaiming your own story, walk this path with me. Let's explore how your strength can become their greatest regret. 1. Embrace your authentic self without apology. One of the most profound ways to make a narcissist regret leaving you is to reclaim your authentic self, and do it boldly, without apology. Narcissists operate by breaking down your sense of self. They criticize your choices, mock your interests, and manipulate you into believing that your worth depends on their approval. Over time, you may have found yourself shrinking to fit their expectations, losing sight of the vibrant, unique person you were before they entered your life. But here's the truth. Their control over you was always an illusion, and the moment you start living authentically, that illusion shatters. Living authentically doesn't mean making grand gestures to prove them wrong. It means reconnecting with who you truly are and letting that person shine. It could be something as simple as wearing clothes that make you feel confident, revisiting a hobby they dismissed, or laughing freely without fear of judgment. These aren't just small acts of rebellion, they're acts of healing. Each time you make a choice based on what you want, rather than the shadow of their criticism, you're proving that their opinions no longer hold power over you. Think about how many dreams or passions you put on hold because they mocked or minimized them. Maybe they told you your hobbies were silly or your goals were unrealistic. Now, imagine picking up that paintbrush, that cookbook, or those hiking boots again. Not to spite them, but to reclaim the joy they tried to take away. The act of thriving in your authenticity doesn't just heal the wounds they left. It forces them to confront their own failure. Narcissists rely on your dependence for their sense of superiority. When they see you living fully and freely, it's a direct blow to their ego. Living authentically also sends a message to yourself. I am enough. For years, they may have conditioned you to believe otherwise, but stepping into your true self is a declaration that their words and actions no longer define you. It's about reclaiming your story and writing it on your own terms. This journey isn't easy, especially if you've spent years suppressing parts of yourself. But remember, every small step you take, whether it's wearing that bold outfit they hated or starting the garden they said was a waste of time, builds momentum. Over time, you'll notice that you're not just surviving, you're thriving in ways you once thought were impossible. And the narcissist? They'll notice too. When they see you thriving, it forces them to reckon with a reality they never imagined. You don't need them. Your joy, your peace, your growth, all of it exists in their absence. That's the kind of regret that lingers because, in their eyes, it's not just about losing control over you, it's about realizing they underestimated your strength. And there's no greater defeat for a narcissist than that. 2. Maintain calm in the face of their drama. Once you've begun embracing your authentic self, the next step to making a narcissist regret leaving you is mastering the art of calm in the face of their chaos. Narcissists thrive on emotional reactions. They push buttons, provoke arguments, and stir up drama because your emotional outbursts validate their sense of power and control. But here's the game changer. When you stop reacting and maintain your composure, you disrupt their entire strategy. Picture this. After you've started living authentically, the narcissist notices that their old tactics no longer work. They may try to provoke you with accusations, blame, or emotional manipulation, hoping to pull you back into their web of control. This is where your calmness becomes your superpower. Instead of engaging, you respond with grace and self-assurance. A simple, steady response like, "I see what you're trying to do and it won't work anymore," followed by walking away, sends a powerful message. They no longer have a hold on you. Why is this so effective? Because narcissists are emotionally dependent on your reactions. Your anger, frustration, or tears feed their ego and reinforce their belief that they're in control. When you refuse to engage, you strip them of that source of validation. Suddenly, they're left grappling with their own insecurities, with no one to blame but themselves. Your calmness shines a spotlight on their inability to rattle you, and that realization cuts deep. Remaining calm doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It's about reclaiming your emotional energy and choosing where to direct it. Instead of pouring it into pointless arguments or trying to explain yourself to someone who isn't listening, you save it for things that truly matter: your growth, your peace, and your future. This shift in focus doesn't just protect your mental well-being, it reinforces your independence and self-worth. For many people, this step is one of the hardest. After years of being conditioned to react, staying calm in the face of provocation feels unnatural at first, but every time you succeed, you're breaking the cycle of control. You're showing yourself and the narcissist that their chaos no longer defines your life. Over time, the narcissist will realize their tactics are failing, and this often leads to regret, not because they've had a change of heart, but because they've lost the emotional supply you once provided. They'll look back at the moments when their outbursts could send you spiraling and realize those days are gone. Your calmness becomes a testament to your strength and growth, and in the quiet confidence of your composure, you'll find something far more powerful than their approval. You'll find your peace. Three. The power of silence, winning without a word. What if I told you that sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all? In the world of a narcissist, silence is not just golden, it's revolutionary. Narcissists crave attention and thrive on your reactions. Every argument, every explanation, and every emotional outburst is fuel for their fire. But when you choose silence, you dismantle their game entirely. Silence is not about avoidance or passivity, it's a calculated, strategic choice. Imagine the narcissist launching into one of their usual tirades, blaming you, twisting the truth, or trying to bait you into an argument. Instead of defending yourself or retaliating, you remain calm and say nothing. No explanations, no rebuttals, just the quiet confidence of someone who no longer plays their game. That silence hits harder than any word you could have said. Why does this work so effectively? Because silence is a mirror. It forces the narcissist to sit with their own words and actions without your energy to deflect or manipulate. Narcissists depend on engagement to feel powerful. Without your participation, they're left floundering, unable to twist the narrative or maintain their control. Your silence robs them of the validation they so desperately seek. But there's another layer to this. By refusing to engage, you protect your own peace. Instead of pouring your energy into fruitless arguments or trying to get them to understand your perspective, you redirect that energy toward healing and rebuilding your life. You stop explaining yourself, stop seeking closure from someone who thrives on withholding it, and most importantly, stop giving them the satisfaction of knowing they still occupy space in your mind. This silence is not a void, it's a statement. It tells the narcissist, I no longer need your validation, your explanations, or your presence in my life. And for someone who thrives on being the center of your attention, That realization is a devastating blow. Over time, your silence creates an undeniable shift. The narcissist starts to feel irrelevant and powerless, unable to provoke the reactions they once relied on. It forces them to confront the truth. Their hold on you is gone. And for someone who built their identity around controlling you, that's a regret they can't escape. So, let your silence speak volumes. In it lies your strength, your clarity, and your freedom, a freedom they never wanted you to have. And for the narcissist, it's a haunting reminder of their failure to break you. 4. Set and enforce boundaries without exception. One of the most empowering actions you can take to make a narcissist regret leaving you, or regret ever trying to control you, is to set and enforce strong, non-negotiable boundaries. Narcissists thrive in relationships where they can blur or outright ignore boundaries, leaving you feeling overrun and powerless. But when you establish firm limits, and more importantly, enforce them without exception, you regain control over your life in a way they never anticipated. Boundaries are not just about saying no to the narcissist, they're about saying yes to yourself. They signal self-respect, self-worth, and a refusal to allow someone else to dictate your time, energy, or emotional well-being. Whether it's refusing to engage in arguments, declining to discuss personal matters, or limiting their access to your life entirely, each boundary you set reinforces the message, I am in control now, not you. Imagine the narcissist trying to reach out, maybe through guilt, manipulation, or even charm, expecting you to respond like you once did. They might try to reignite old dynamics, hoping to test your limits and see if they can regain control. But this time things are different. You calmly and firmly hold your ground. Perhaps you choose not to answer their calls, refuse to engage in their drama, or politely but firmly remind them, that's not something I'm willing to discuss. Each time you enforce a boundary, you assert your independence and disrupt their ability to manipulate. Why does this frustrate a narcissist so deeply? Because boundaries strip away their power. They thrive on controlling your emotions, your time, and even your sense of self. When you enforce boundaries, you make it clear that they no longer have access to those parts of you. This not only limits their ability to influence you, but also forces them to confront the fact that their tactics no longer work. Setting boundaries also has a profound impact on your own healing. It helps you rebuild trust in yourself, teaching you that it's okay to prioritize your needs and protect your peace. It creates space for healthier relationships and allows you to focus on your personal growth without the constant interference of their demands. Over time, these boundaries become second nature, and the narcissist fades further into irrelevance. For the narcissist, however, your boundaries are a source of deep frustration and regret. They realize they've lost the ability to access your life, influence your decisions, or provoke your reactions. They may attempt to push back or test your limits, but your consistency sends a clear message. You no longer have control over me. In the end, boundaries are not just a defense mechanism. They're a declaration of self-worth. They show the narcissist, and more importantly yourself, that you value your peace and autonomy above all else. And for the narcissist, the realization that they no longer hold sway over you is a bitter pill to swallow, leaving them with nothing but regret for underestimating your strength. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you agree that these actions can make a narcissist regret leaving? Drop A1 in the comments if you believe they work, or A0 if you think they won't. Your opinion matters, and I'd love to know your thoughts. 5. Forgive yourself for staying too long. One of the most unexpected and transformative actions you can take to make a narcissist regret leaving you is forgiving yourself for the time you spent in their shadow. Narcissists thrive on guilt, your guilt. They want you to feel ashamed for the years you endured their manipulation, for the sacrifices you made, or for not leaving sooner. But here's the truth they don't want you to realize. Your guilt keeps you tethered to their power. When you release it, you free yourself. and leave them reeling. Forgiving yourself is not about excusing their behavior or pretending the pain didn't happen. It's about acknowledging your humanity. You did the best you could with the knowledge and strength you had at the time. Staying wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a reflection of your hope, your loyalty, or perhaps your fear of the unknown. But now you've chosen a different path. You're choosing growth, healing, and freedom. And that starts with letting go of the weight of regret. This act of self-forgiveness is something a narcissist will never see coming. They expect you to stay stuck in a loop of self-blame, replaying every moment and doubting every decision. They count on that regret to maintain a hold over you, even from a distance. But when you forgive yourself, you dismantle that control entirely. You're no longer defined by the time you spent with them. Instead, you're defined by the strength it took to walk away and rebuild. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, looking into your own eyes and saying, "I forgive myself for not knowing then what I know now. I did the best I could, and I deserve to move forward without this burden." That moment is not just liberating, it's transformative. It signals to the narcissist, and to yourself, that their grip on your life is over. Forgiving yourself also shines a light on the narcissist's actions in a way they can't ignore. When you let go of your guilt, it forces them to confront the truth about their role in the pain you endured. Even if they never admit it, that truth creates a gap between the story they tell themselves and the reality of what happened. And in that gap, regret begins to take root. Self-forgiveness is a deeply personal journey, but it's one of the most empowering steps you can take. It allows you to move forward without the baggage of shame or regret, creating space for joy, peace, and a life that is entirely your own. For the narcissist, your forgiveness is a reminder that their control over you is gone, and the power they once held has evaporated. And that realization? It's one they'll carry with them far longer than you ever carried your guilt. Six, thrive in a way they can't control. If there's one thing that truly unsettles a narcissist, it's seeing you thrive in ways they never thought possible, especially when it happens entirely beyond their influence. Narcissists thrive on control, and their greatest fear is watching you succeed, find happiness, and rebuild a life where they have no part. Thriving, therefore, isn't just about personal growth. It's the ultimate declaration of independence. Thriving after a narcissistic relationship isn't limited to surface-level achievements like getting a new job or starting a new relationship. Those are wonderful milestones, but true thriving goes deeper. It's about cultivating a life that feels authentic, peaceful, and fulfilling. It's waking up every morning with a sense of purpose, pursuing passions they once dismissed, and surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. This kind of thriving is unshakable because it comes from within. It's something no one, especially a narcissist, can take away. Why does this hit narcissists so hard? Because they see themselves as the pinnacle of your life. They believe you'll struggle without them, that your world will crumble in their absence. But when you flourish, you destroy that fantasy. You prove that their presence wasn't a source of strength, but rather a barrier to your growth. Your thriving is a direct challenge to their inflated sense of superiority, forcing them to confront their irrelevance. Imagine pursuing a dream they mocked, a hobby they called pointless, or a project they said you'd fail at. Maybe it's writing that book, starting that business, or diving into a passion they dismissed. Now imagine succeeding. Not only do you prove them wrong, but you also strip their words of power. Their criticisms and doubts fade into insignificance as your accomplishments stand tall. Thriving isn't just about external success. It's about reclaiming your joy. It's laughing freely, building meaningful relationships, and living with a sense of freedom they never wanted you to have. This kind of happiness is magnetic. It draws people toward you and reinforces your strength. For the narcissist, this is a bitter pill to swallow. Their narrative that you'd fail without them collapses, leaving them with nothing but their own insecurities. But here's the beauty of it. Your thriving isn't about them, it's about you. It's about living a life that feels good, that reflects who you are and that honors your resilience. It's about proving to yourself, not them, that you're capable of building something beautiful even from the wreckage they left behind. As you thrive, you send an undeniable message. Your absence didn't break me, it freed me. And for a narcissist, that realization is a source of deep regret. Watching you succeed, grow, and find joy without them forces them to confront the painful truth. They were never as essential as they believed. Your thriving becomes their loss, and your happiness becomes your greatest victory. Seven. Live a life of joy they can never touch. The final and most powerful action to make a narcissist regret leaving you is to live a life of pure, unapologetic joy, a joy that exists entirely outside their influence. Narcissists thrive on being the center of your world. They want to believe that without them your happiness will crumble and your life will lack meaning. But when you create a life filled with authentic joy, love, and fulfillment, you prove that their absence is not your downfall. It's your liberation. True joy isn't about fleeting moments or surface-level achievements. It's about building a life that feels meaningful and whole. It's the kind of happiness that comes from nurturing relationships that uplift you, pursuing passions that ignite your spirit, and waking up each day with a sense of peace they never wanted you to have. This joy is rooted in freedom, the freedom to be yourself, to make decisions without fear of judgment, and to live a life that reflects your values and desires. Why does this bother a narcissist so much? Because it directly challenges their belief that they are the key to your happiness. Narcissists often assume that their departure will leave a void in your life, a space they can return to whenever they please. But when you fill that space with genuine joy and purpose, you shatter their illusion. They're left watching from the sidelines as you thrive in ways they never imagine. Imagine rediscovering a passion they once dismissed or mocked, perhaps traveling to places you've always dreamed of, creating art, starting a business, or simply finding delight in small, everyday moments. Each step you take toward a joyful life is a reminder that their presence was never the source of your happiness. And as your joy grows, their influence fades, leaving them to confront the truth. They were never as important as they believed. Living joyfully doesn't mean pretending the pain never happened. It means acknowledging your past, learning from it, and choosing to move forward with grace and resilience. It's about recognizing that your best days are ahead of you, not behind you, and that their role in your life was merely a chapter, not the whole story. For the narcissist, your joy is an unbearable contradiction to the narrative they've built. It forces them to question their power, their control, and their significance in your life. While they may never admit it, seeing you happy without them triggers a deep sense of regret, a regret that lingers because they can't touch the joy you've built. So, laugh freely, love deeply, and embrace the beauty of your new life. Your joy is the ultimate victory. It's a testament to your strength, a celebration of your resilience, and a reminder that no matter what they tried to take from you, they could never take your ability to create happiness. For the narcissist, your joy is the ultimate defeat. And for you, it's the ultimate triumph. As we come to the end of this journey, remember this. Every action you take toward reclaiming your power is a step away from the control they once held over you. Living authentically, maintaining calm, choosing silence, forgiving yourself, setting boundaries, thriving, and embracing joy are not just strategies to make a narcissist regret leaving you. They are the building blocks of a life you truly deserve. This isn't about them anymore. It's about you. It's about proving to yourself that you are stronger than their manipulation, wiser than their games, and more resilient than they ever gave you credit for. Each day as you heal and grow, you're sending a clear message to the world and to yourself. I am free, and I am thriving. The best part? Your happiness is no longer tied to their presence or absence. It's yours, rooted in your choices, your growth, and the vibrant, meaningful life you're creating. And that's something no one, not even a narcissist, can ever take away. So, as you move forward, let this be your mantra. I am more than what happened to me. I am the author of my story, and my best chapters are yet to come. Keep building, keep thriving, and keep shining, because in the end, the greatest revenge is living a life so fulfilling they become nothing more than a footnote in your success. Thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe to help spread this message of empowerment. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep growing, and as always, let the healing continue.